1959 Lincoln penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1959 Lincoln penny marks a pivotal moment in American coinage history. This was the first year that the reverse design of the Lincoln cent was changed since its inception in 1909. Until 1958, the coin bore the iconic wheat ears on the reverse, a design that honored the agrarian roots of America. But in 1959, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint introduced a new reverse, the Lincoln Memorial. This change was more than just aesthetic, it was symbolic. For the first time in U.S. coinage history, both the obverse and reverse featured the same individual, Abraham Lincoln. The obverse retained Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Lincoln, introduced in 1909, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, depicted the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The no-mint mark version of the 1959 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In fine condition, the coin may not immediately appear exceptional to the untrained eye, but for numismatists and collectors, its significance lies in the transition it represents. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 609 million of these coins in 1959, making them relatively common in terms of mintage. However, their value today isn't based solely on scarcity, it's about the historical moment they signify. This coin is a gateway between the early 20th century aesthetic of American coinage and the modern era, and that makes it highly desirable for collectors building typesets or assembling comprehensive Lincoln cent collections. In fine condition, a 1959 no-mint mark penny typically exhibits moderate wear across Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat lapel, and the reverse may show some flattening of the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Nevertheless, all major details should be clearly visible, and there should be no significant damage or corrosion. These characteristics are crucial when determining the coin's value and market appeal. While circulated examples in fine condition are generally worth a modest premium, often between 10 to 50 cents, depending on demand and market trends, errors and varieties can dramatically increase the coin's value. One such error is the 1959D mule cent. Though not directly related to the Philadelphia minted coin we're discussing, it has increased awareness and interest in this year's issue. This controversial mule features the 1959 obverse paired with a 1958 wheat reverse, something that should not exist, given the official design change in 1959. Although the mule cent's authenticity has been hotly debated, its existence has only fueled collector interest in all 1959 pennies. Additionally, collectors are always on the lookout for examples with doubling, die breaks, and repunched mint marks, even on Philadelphia issues where mint marks are absent. Any unusual characteristics on a 1959 cent should be carefully examined, as small anomalies can result in major premiums. The broader appeal of the 1959 penny lies in its symbolism. This coin bridges the legacy of early Lincoln cents with the modernization of U.S. coinage. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse serves not just as a design, but as a reminder of national unity and the enduring legacy of a president who reshaped the nation. Collectors who prize narrative and symbolism in their numismatic pursuits are especially drawn to the 1959 cent, and even in circulated fine condition, it plays a key role in many collections. Beyond error coins and symbolism, the condition of a 1959 Lincoln cent can be pivotal in determining value. Uncirculated and proof examples naturally command higher prices, particularly those with red surfaces and sharp detail. However, even coins in fine condition have their place, especially for newer collectors or those assembling lower budget, yet historically rich collections. And don't underestimate the demand from educators, historians, and coin dealers who seek out specific dates for teaching, showcasing, or selling starter collections. At coin shows and online marketplaces, you'll often find 1959 cents bundled into sets or offered individually as introductory collectibles. The pricing fluctuates slightly depending on the grading market and collector demand, but the sentimental and historical weight of the coin remains strong. Even if the coin's value in fine condition is under $1, its numismatic significance makes it an essential part of any Lincoln cent narrative. The 1959 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is not just a coin, it is a piece of living history. It marked the end of an era and the beginning of another, combining the elegance of Brenner's original design with the grandeur of Gasparro's vision. It reflects America's reverence for Lincoln and the national identity tied to coinage. Whether found in a forgotten drawer or carefully preserved in an album, this penny speaks volumes, and for collectors, that's worth far more than 1 cent. 1983 Lincoln penny 1-cent coin with mint mark D and fine condition. Now let's turn to a coin that stirs excitement for entirely different reasons, the 1983 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might appear like an ordinary cent from the 1980s, a decade often overlooked by collectors in favor of earlier coins. But hidden beneath its copper-plated zinc surface is a world of intrigue, error potential, and market variability that continues to captivate numismatists. The 1983 D penny comes from the Denver Mint, which struck over 6.4 billion of these coins that year. Such a high mintage number would typically signal low collector value after all, with billions in circulation. How rare can it be? But coin collecting isn't just about rarity in numbers. The real value often lies in what lies beneath errors, transition anomalies, and the metallurgical shift that defined this period. The early 1980s saw a dramatic change in the Lincoln cent's composition. From 1909 until 1982, the penny was made primarily of 95% copper. But due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint made a pivotal decision in mid-1982 to switch to a composition of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. This change was cost-effective, but it introduced new challenges: planchet inconsistencies, structural weaknesses, and greater susceptibility to minting errors. By 1983, the transition was in full effect, and all Lincoln cents struck that year were composed of copper-plated zinc. However, the numismatic landscape was still adjusting to this new normal, and as a result, coins from this era, especially 1983D, are under intense scrutiny for transitional errors and striking anomalies. One of the most famous varieties to come from this year is the 1983 double die reverse, although most known examples are from the Philadelphia Mint. This dramatic doubling, especially evident in the lettering 1 cent and United States of America, has become one of the most sought after Lincoln cent errors. While the 1983D double die reverse is not as prominent or well documented as its Philadelphia counterpart, collectors continue to examine Denver issues closely, hoping to discover overlooked errors. But the true hidden gem among 1983 pennies lies in transitional planchet errors. Some collectors and experts believe that a very small number of 1983D pennies were mistakenly struck on bronze plankets left over copper alloy blanks from the pre-1982 era. These extremely rare transitional errors weigh approximately 3.1 grams, compared to the standard 2.5 grams of the zinc issues. Such coins, when authenticated, can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. The possibility of discovering a bronze planchet error within 1983D pennies has led many collectors to weigh their coins meticulously, examining every detail in hopes of striking gold, figuratively speaking, of course. In fine condition, the 1983D Lincoln penny generally shows wear on Lincoln's face, hair, and shoulders, and the reverse may have flat areas on the Lincoln memorial and lettering. Despite this, it should retain its full design and not exhibit major blemishes. Even in this circulated state, the coin's market appeal is enhanced by its potential for hidden errors and its place within the larger narrative of metallurgical transition in U.S. coinage. On the market, a standard 1983D penny in fine condition might sell for between 5 and 25 cents, depending on presentation and demand. But the real value spike comes with authentication of any variety or error. Coin grading companies have authenticated and slammed 1983D transitional errors and high-grade specimens that command hundreds, even thousands of dollars. This ongoing possibility makes every 1983D cent worth a second look. Collectors also value the 1983D penny for what it represents. It stands at the crossroads of old and new, where the traditional copper coin was replaced by modern zinc copper-plated technology. It represents economic changes, minting experimentation, and the unpredictable outcomes that arose from such a transformation. For educators and collectors alike, it serves as a prime example of how even the most mundane coin can harbor tremendous educational and monetary value. The coin's broad appeal includes error hunters, type collectors, and Lincoln series enthusiasts who appreciate the nuances of minting history. It also appeals to newer collectors eager to uncover valuable coins in everyday change. With billions of these coins still in circulation, the hunt remains active, and the thrill of possibly discovering a rare transitional error keeps interest in the 1983D Lincoln cent alive and well. Ultimately, The 1983D Lincoln penny in fine condition may appear modest on the surface, but within its copper sheen lies a world of possibilities. From transitional plankets to unexplored doubling varieties, it encapsulates a unique era in U.S. mint history. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, this coin challenges you to look deeper and recognize the hidden value in what might otherwise be dismissed as pocket change. So there you have it, to seemingly ordinary Lincoln cents, both with extraordinary stories. The 1959 no mint mark and the 1983D are proof that history, design, errors, and collector enthusiasm can transform 1-cent coins into prized possessions. Keep looking through your change. You never know what treasures await in the world of coins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own discoveries in the comments below. Until next time, keep collecting and keep the legacy of coinage alive.